The King University of obnoxious fans has always been Alabama, but there may be a new sheriff in town.
In the world full of podcasts, he's the undisputed heavyweight champion of hot takes, an Auburn sports homer, master of the boog, and message board legend. Get your buttons buttoned and your hats flattened because the Top Button Podcast is about to kick off. And you don't want to miss your courtside seat. Now, here's your host, Charlie 5.
Yes, sir. We're back. It's another episode of the Top Button Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Rush, a.k.a. Charlie 5, and we are ready to rock and roll. Is there a new sheriff in town as far as obnoxious fans go? There may be. We're going to discuss that here in just a second. The injury report is out. There's some big hitters that could be out for the game on Saturday. We're going to walk through that, and then we're going to talk about our game changers, who's got to play elite level football for Auburn to win on Saturday. We're going to get all to that in just a second. But before we do that, let's give a quick shout out to Rhoback.com. Use coupon code BARN20 to take 20% off your order. Polos, hoodies, pullovers, doesn't matter. They got it all, and you can save big as well. You can even get Auburn licensed apparel. They got a really cool I got a really cool hoodie on the way, the gray one. I got a gray hoodie with the old Sailor Aubie right in the chest. I'm fired up, ready to get it. Love their hoodies. Even though it's 90 degrees outside, who cares? Snuggle up with a hoodie and show them some love. It's Rhoback.com. I got my man Bryce Tillman. He's joined us a couple of weeks back on Friendship Friday. And Bryce, look, man, as an Auburn fan, you always have to deal with Alabama and Georgia fans like your whole life. Like that's just something you always deal with. And there's good ones and there's bad ones, but the bad ones are extremely obnoxious. Okay. But I think Oklahoma fans may take the crown as the most obnoxious fan base I've ever really dealt with, like, especially since doing this sports media stuff. I mean, the comments on YouTube videos started like last week, and they don't let up. And it is they're very confident going into Saturday, but they're incredibly obnoxious. I think they may have taken the crown for me as most obnoxious fan base.
Yeah, I agree. I made a whole show and was giving Oklahoma their flowers.
Yeah.
And was just simply stating when we come down to our predictions on it. And I just said, look, until Auburn gives me a reason not to go on their side, I've got to side with my boys. Kyle, I had X inbox messages with TikTok, people coming to my TikTok.
Yeah.
I had people commenting on my YouTube videos. I've never personally dealt with a fan base that we're saying that they're a good team, but we like our chances for our guys to go out and compete and be competitive. And it's just like we said that, that we just hate Baker Mayfield or something. I don't understand what their problem is.
Dude, this is funny. I don't think this is a very controversial take either, but I think I just said that I felt like Baylor's offense was a little bit more explosive than theirs. I don't think that's a very controversial statement. I mean, statistically, it's true. I mean, it is that they throw a lot better. I think Sawyer Roberts is, in my opinion, maybe a little bit better quarterback than John Mateer. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. They could be the best 1-2 quarterbacks in the whole country. But I was having that conversation, and I think I mentioned that, and oh my God, you would have thought that I said they weren't going to make a bowl game this year. Like,
there was a post. Go ahead.
No, I was just the context was essentially like, look, I think Baylor's offense is a little bit better than theirs. Obviously, Auburn did what they did against Baylor's offense as far as from a defensive perspective. So if you can just kind of play that same game plan out and just bend but don't break, and then maybe take trips into the red zone and turn them into field goals, maybe you got a puncher's chance in winning. And it was like I said, Auburn's going to win by 3 touchdowns. That's what the conversation's been.
There was a post on X, and it was actually from people that are listening to the show. If they're on X, they will know this name. It was Baylor Homer. It's a big time Baylor user, and he was talking about how Sawyer Robinson, nobody wants to have this conversation, but he is better than John Mateer. And I was like, look, statistically and all around quarterback, when it comes to passing, Sawyer Robinson's got him beat for sure. And that's when the inboxes come in. I had one guy comment and was like, read your bio. No wonder, it says for your show, common fan, you don't know ball. And I was like, sending me this with 48 followers is a mighty big take, buddy. So
it's wild. I have a buddy who graduated from Auburn, and he actually moved out to Oklahoma for a while. And this was back when Oklahoma was not in the SEC. So this was when they were still in the Big 12. And he just was always telling me, he's like, man, I don't care. I hope whoever it is playing Oklahoma beats Oklahoma because I can't stand these people. I can't stand these people. And we've never dealt with them before because they were Big 12. Like, I think this is only like less than 5 times they've ever played ever, and never obviously played in Norman. So I was like, he's like, I swear they're worse than Alabama fans. I swear they're worse than Georgia fans. And I'm like, well, I don't think it can ever be that bad. Like, you can't get to the bad ones are just at the highest bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it can't get any worse than that. And I think he may be right. I think these guys, like, they're good. Like Oklahoma is good. And that's another thing is, like, they think that, like, Auburn fans or whatever, or Auburn people or Auburn media are just out here talking like we're about to walk in there and whoop them by like 2 touchdowns. And that's just not the case. I would say the vast majority of Auburn media are probably predicting a loss on Saturday than the ones that are predicting a win. It's just like we just are drumming up things to kind of get mad at. It's wild.
It's almost, Kyle, like they're in, like, are they talking us down so much because they're possibly like
nervous?
I'm not going to say they're nervous. That's exactly right. I wasn't going to say scared, but it's like they're worried because
go ahead.
The Jackson, the Jackson Arnold thing coming back to town, they don't want to be proved wrong, like they whiffed, right? Yeah. And so they feel like that they got to get in everybody else's head right now.
That would be if Jackson were to have a really good game and somehow even if he outperforms statistically John Mateer, I think it would be soul crushing. I think it would be very, very hard for them to get over that. A loss in general right now, I think, would be very hard for them to take. A loss for them right now, I think, would be vastly more deflating than it would be for Auburn, especially if it's a good game. I think Auburn's got a good chance to win the game. But if they were to lose and you look good doing it, I don't think all your goals are kind of still out there to be had. But with them, I think this is one that if you lose it and Jackson Arnold looks good in that game, it could send that whole thing off the rails.
Yeah, I agree. And I will say this right now. If Jackson Arnold goes in there and has like a lights out game, like a jaw dropping performance, that there would be a movie deal on this. It would be blockbuster. Like it would be a multi-million-dollar.
Good one.
It would be great. And I'm with you. Really I agree on that. Now, a lot of people, including media, like you just mentioned, I mean, I've been searching the web all day today, and I've not found one expert analyst, person from really any takes that have really took Auburn. So I'm not really sure what their problem is with this. But
you're the heavy favorite. It seems like it seems so. So just I don't know why you think people are attacking you. It's kind of like Alabama for a while. It's like we never get any respect, and it's like, what do you mean? Y'all are preseason #1 every single year. You have the best players. What do you mean no respect? Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. There's probably a deeper conversation we could have, but I think they've taken the ground. They've taken the ground so far based off what I've seen. We got some other stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about the injury report and our game changers for the Oklahoma game, and we're going to jump into that right after this. All right, let's talk injury report, man. So when you get into SEC play, now you have to put out an injury report. That's the whole questionable, probable, doubtful, good to go, all that good stuff. And Auburn and Oklahoma released theirs to the SEC. And there were a couple on there that are a little bit concerning. Some of them we were prepared for, and then some that are a little bit more concerning. I don't know if hopefully everybody can see this, but obviously out, you have Darrell Robinson. Not a surprise. I did not even see him at practice on Tuesday. He had the crazy issue with the blood pooling on his leg and had to have it lanced open and drained and all that stuff. Just completely freak thing. And after he just ripped off a 54-yard touchdown. So he's out. And then it has doubtful. And I talked about this on my show on Wednesday. I guess that was yesterday. Amaris Williams, doubtful. And again, I said I would be surprised if he played. Bryce, he is really favoring that shoulder. And again, it's not like it's got to have surgery, but he was not using it a lot. So he's out. So can Jared Smith, or whoever has to come in, can they step up in his presence? Because Bryce, I don't know about you, man, but Amaris was doing some things on the field that only Amaris can do. Like he's kind of a freak. So what do you think about him being doubtful to maybe probably even out for Saturday?
Yeah, look, so he doesn't have jaw-dropping stats right now, but one thing about Amaris Williams that any Auburn fan that's been glued to the TV will tell you is that he's been in the backfield pretty consistently.
Yeah.
Like he's rushed a lot of plays. He's made some plays. He's a very good player, and I really hate not seeing him play Saturday if that's the case.
Yep. And then back to this, you got Jay Crawford. I think that one is a little bit more of a shocker to the system that he's doubtful. And I've talked to a few people, and they don't expect him to play. So he was on the bike all day Tuesday when we were there for practice, and I mentioned that, and I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know about this. It wasn't like the others. I mean, he was off to the side, and he was doing the bike and whatnot. I didn't get the drift at that point in time that he was likely out on Saturday, and then this comes out, and he's your best corner. Like there's no doubts about it. In a secondary that struggles a little bit or has struggled at times, he's your best defender. He's your best cover guy, and he's probably not going to play this weekend. So that to me is the biggest blow of this whole thing.
Has anybody disclosed what his injury was?
Knee. It's nothing. It's one of those things where it's like a knee bruise, I believe, banged a knee on someone else, and it just makes it tough. It just makes it tough to move and getting in and out of cuts and breaks and breaking on the ball and whatnot. So he's doubtful. So I don't even know if that's going to be a game time decision. He's probably just not going to play. So then questionable, you got Champ Anthony, who I think could play. He's going to have that big cast on. Eric Singleton, he's going to play. He has the hip pointer. Rashawn Pleasant, he's going to play. He's going to start, I think, if Jay Crawford is completely out in his place. And then you got Xavier Miller, who I didn't even really know was injured at all. And then probable Damari Alston and Malcolm Simmons, which is obviously good news because both of those guys missed. So overall, we haven't even really got to Oklahoma's yet, but overall, what are your vibes or what are your feelings about that injury report, so far?
Again, I don't like Jay Crawford being listed as doubtful or Amaris Williams, but if that's the only two that we have that we're just kind of saying we're not sure if they're going to go or not, I feel pretty good about our stance on our, with our depth and our roster. And we haven't broke down Oklahoma's yet, but compared to two lists, it looks like theirs is a little bit larger than ours.
Yeah. I mean, here's my thing. This is with Oklahoma. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 offensive linemen are either out or questionable. What the hell are they doing to the offensive linemen over there, man?
Man, it's the gridiron gang over there, man. I don't know what they got going on.
Like last year, that was the whole thing, like injury after injury on the offensive line. And One of these guys, I think, is their team captain. One of the guys that's either questionable or out is one of their team captains. I think he's one of their centers. They got a lot of players. They got a lot of guys in the trenches that seem to be out. I don't think they have any mega important skill guys that they really lean on that are going to be that are either out or doubtful. But geez, I don't know what they're doing over there to their offensive linemen. They must be full. They must be full contact like 24/7 over there.
Yeah, they need to talk about. They need to have a sit-down conversation with their strength and conditioning coach and figure out what's going on.
Sure, yeah.
That captain that's out for him, I did see where I don't think he's even played since week 1, but nevertheless, he was not named captain for no reason, right?
Sure.
And so that a lot of teams don't take that lightly. And with your captain being out, I'm not going to say that that's going to be a game changer by any stretch of means, but it certainly shows poise to it where it could be a potential threat.
Sure. So at this point in the season, these lists I'm sure are going to grow and grow because it's just going to start the grind is really going to pick up. So Auburn's got to make some adjustments. Got to get Rayshon Pleasant ready. I think he's going to be obviously like your guy if Jay Crawford's out. Made a big play from what we saw on Tuesday in some 11-on-11 stuff. Looked really good. And then I'm curious to see what happens with Rayon Strader on the other side with Kayan Lee because Kayan Lee's had a rough start to the year. Let's just call it what it is. He's been picked on, and I think some of that's because they don't want to throw it Jay's way, so he gets a lot of the targets. So we really need him to step up, man. He had some NFL draft buzz before the season. Like if this were to continue, he's going to be here at least another year. Or he's going to transfer because there's going to be some other younger guys that are going to want to, get a crack at that position. So really need Kayan Lee to step up. So let's talk game changers. Okay. Let's talk about who we both pick one each. Who do you take as if this person plays at an elite level, Auburn has a really good shot to win. And we kicked out Jackson Arnold. Like you can't pick Jackson Arnold because that's the obvious one. So Bryce, who's your game changer? Like who is the guy you say, hey, if insert this name player goes off or he has a really good game, Auburn's got a really good shot to win the game.
Yeah, it was initially going to be Rayshon Pleasant. I had that name in my head from the moment we found out about Crawford, and you can make the argument for Strader as well. But I'm supposed to throw you a curveball here. I think DeMarcus Riddick has got to be the one that's got to pop off in this game. As the show just started, I was thinking about it, right? Yeah. You've seen DeMarcus Riddick around this time last year. It's really when he came out of his shell and really started opening up and showing his potential and what he can be. And one thing about DeMarcus Riddick is that he can hawk down and track a mobile quarterback, and he's very, very athletic and is able to cover sideline to sideline. And I think that's crucial when it comes to John Mateer and how dynamic of a quarterback he is. So I think if DeMarcus Riddick can get his head on the grindstone, get out there and get downfield really quick because he's got speed and he will bring him down. And I think if Mateer tries to get a little flashy, one of his little shortstop little passes that he likes to throw, I think that Riddick can be there to either bust it up or either catch him in that open space. Some of our typical defenders might have a little bit of a tougher time getting to him. I like DeMarcus Riddick here. I think that he's going to be the guy that if he can come out, be the game changer, it'll go in Auburn's favor.
That's a really, really good one. And I think you're dead on there because John Mateer, he leads the team in carries. He's had 33 carries this year, 161 yards. He's their second leading rusher. Running is a part of his game. I mean, he has a 51-yard touchdown run, 4 touchdown runs altogether. So he is a true dual threat. And you're absolutely right. Last year when Auburn figured out how to defend a running quarterback, it was DeMarcus Riddick. Like that was kind of his thing. So he's got the familiarity with having some success against Oklahoma. So that's not going to be real shell shocking to him. And hey, let's be honest. He hasn't really had a good start to the year, in my opinion. Haven't really heard his name that much. If we're being completely honest, like he's just been kind of hidden. So it'll be good to see him do that. I think that's a really, really good one. I want to cheat and just say the whole offensive line, but I'm going to be specific, and I'm going to say Xavier Chaplin really needs to have a good game, obviously because he protects that blind side, and Oklahoma has one of the better defensive lines in the country. And ultimately, I think this game is going to come down to our offensive line versus their defensive line. So if you got to pick one offensive lineman, I'm going to go with Xavier Chaplin because I think now I don't know if it's going to work, but I think what they are going to want to do is they're going to say, Jackson, you are not going to run the ball on us. So if you want to try to beat us with your arm, so be it. We're going to pin our ears back and we're going to come after you. And you're going to need to be able to pass block very, very efficiently, very, very good. And I think that obviously that's going to put Xavier Chaplin out there on an island, and you really need him to be able to protect that backside and keep Jackson clean so he can deliver the ball, because Jackson, he has a little bit of a nervous trigger finger. Like sometimes he may hold – he's very accurate, great arm strength, but like maybe holds it that half a second or a fraction of a second longer before he gets it out there. So you got to block that half a second or whatever fraction of a second longer. So I'm going to go with Xavier Chaplin, but I could say that for every person on the offensive line because I do think that's the biggest matchup. So with all that being said, ultimately, how do you think this game plays out on Saturday?
I think that Auburn's going to stick with their guns and they're going to try the run first. Yeah. I don't think they're fixing to change anything they've done the first 3 games until Oklahoma shuts them down. Yeah. Auburn has a very, very good run block offensive line. Like they're graded very well, and they're doing excellent at that. I'm curious to see what kind of defense and how Oklahoma's going to line up. Are they going to be like every of the previous 3 teams we've played already, keeping 2 high safeties the whole time and just saying we're going to try to just beat you with our front 7? Because Kyle, this will be the best defensive line in the linebacker corps we've played up to date. But this offensive line is elite when it comes to run blocking, and Damari Alston and Jeremiah Cobb have showed me that the biggest group that we questioned in preseason is the one that we're least concerned about now. And I think that has a lot to do with Jackson Arnold being able to run the football as well, because if you try to bite down on them, crap, we've seen it, dude. Jackson Arnold will take it for 10, 11 yards and slide down and go up and throw his fingers up. Hey, it's a first down. So
keep the chains moving.
I think that Auburn's game plan is going to be stick with their guns. And if they start shutting down that run, you'll start slowly seeing that RPO coming in. And if they start biting down on that, expect some deep shots because it's coming. Yeah,
it worked last year. You were able to hit them vertically several times last year, make some big plays through the air last year. So definitely hoping that's you really need to see that vertical game, be able to stretch the field out of Auburn. Hadn't really seen that yet. So hope my thing is, if I'm defending Auburn, I'm taking Jackson's legs out of the game and saying, I don't trust him to beat me with his arm. And so let's see it. And the good thing is, and this is just a hunch, I don't have a ton to back it up. I think he can. I think he can beat you with his arm if he needs to. So we'll see what he does with all these toys. Bryce, my man, tell them where they can find you and support you. If you don't like, if you want to listen just other than just Auburn stuff, if you want to hear stuff around college football, you need to check out Bryce's podcast.
Yeah, man, head on over to YouTube and check out the Common Fan podcast. We cover top 25, all SEC, and some crucial matchups. And you can find me on X at xxbryce_T.
Let's go, man. Thanks, guys, for listening. We'll be back again soon. It's another episode of the Top Button Podcast. Stay buttoned.
Thanks for listening, and drive home safely.